in the one true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who art in heaven. Father, I thank you that the persons involved in this incident was not harmed or wounded any further, which you allowed. Father, I ask that you lead them not into temptation, but deliver them from evil. I ask, Father, that you lead them not into temptation, but deliver them from evil. In Yeshua's name, Amen. Now, as many know by now, our brother in humanity was attacked and wounded with a knife. As a brother in humanity, I apologize to you, brother. I am sorry that you were attacked and you were wounded with a knife. I am grateful that you are good. I am grateful that you have your life. I am grateful that you are not up in a hospital severely wounded. I am grateful that, which I'm assuming you were at home, you were with your family, with your loved ones. I'm grateful that you still have your health. I also want to say that I condemn any form of violence, from the least of violence to the most violence. From laying of hands on someone to taking someone's life. No form of violence at all is acceptable. I condemn all forms of violence. We're grateful that you're still with us. With that said, I'm going to play a video of another brother in humanity who has a few things to say. And I agree with a lot of it. I agree with this portion. Because as I viewed this video on One Message Foundation, and I will leave the links to both videos in the description box, there were many times where you could have gotten out of this situation.
Times where not just this Sheikh, but a lot of us have been in situations where we've been in front of someone arguing, right? Someone that doesn't see our terms or see our opinions or see eye to eye, right? We're arguing with that person, right? But it gets to the point where as soon as it gets physical, that's when there's like, all hell breaks loose, right? So for me, I wish that the chef would have tried to de-escalate the problem at the beginning, like not even at the beginning, but right there, right when that guy was coming at him. I wish he would have tried to de-escalate it. And now, when I say de-escalate it, the chef could have said anything as far as, "Hey, listen, don't come near this car. I don't want this kind of problem." That's one. The chef could have drove away. That's two. The chef could have called the police right then and there. But once you take it in your hands, right? Once you take it in your hands and say, you know what? I'm going to deal with this problem right now. That's when you take the chance of not knowing what the other person has on their persons. You don't know if they came armed. You don't know if that person came with a weapon. You don't know if that person came with multiple people. But once you say, you know what, I'm going to engage in this, and I want this person to come step to my face, and I'm going to punch him first, then you're inviting that problem. You're making the problem worse. You see what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about this situation. I feel that the chef could have de-escalated the problem. I'm not siding with the guy that's the guy that did the stabbing. I'm not siding with him. He's wrong. Obviously, he's wrong. But what I'm saying is, what could have been done to prevent it? What could have been done?
Okay. I want to thank this brother in humanity for speaking truth. Thank you, brother. You have a good heart. Back to our other brother in humanity. Now, what I say, I mean with the utmost respect, and I'm saying it for truth. Sometimes truth sounds harsh, but as a believer, we are searching for truth, whether we like to hear it or we don't. There was no reason for you to get out of the vehicle, out of your car. No reason for saying, you think I'm scared of you? I'm not scared of you. As a person who is searching for truth and guidance, you have the opportunity to lower that other guy's behavior. It's not what you say, but how you say it. What are you saying? And what actions are you portraying? Could you have calmed him down? Could you have not gotten out of your car? Could you, after pumping gasoline, could you have just drove off, and if he followed you, drive to a police station? I'm sure the closer you get, you'll see a cop driving around. You can wave him down and say, hey, this dude's following me, get him. I'll pull over. Stop the... I would, if I was in that situation, I would even pull in front of the cop car and get him to come out. I would get out, lay down, and just yell to the cop, this dude is following me. I don't want something. At the least, you could have just drove to a police station. Or you could have spoke to him in a different manner, in a way that would lower the tension, the vibe, the energy, whatever you want to call it. Now, again, I'm saying this as respectful as I can. From one brother in humanity to another. Where is, or where was, the wisdom? Where's the wisdom? We look at our fruits. People can say all they want to say, but what is the fruit? Is it to de-escalate the situation, or is it to throw more fuel on the fire? Is it to get out of your car? And I'm sure you went to him. We don't know what you said. You punched him. We don't know if he punched you first. We just know you said you punched him, and we're assuming that after you punched him, you got attacked and wounded with the knife. And I thank the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the one true God, that you are still with us today. I am grateful, and I praise him that you are home with your loved ones. But we got to be better than this. We can go back as far as we want, and people are just fighting, people are wounding each other, people are killing each other. People hate each other. If we want change, we have to be the change. Who's going to break the cycle of hate and death? Someone's got to break the cycle. Otherwise, it just keeps going on. Are we all the seed of Abraham? If we're all the seed of Abraham, and I'm talking about believers, why are we fighting each other then? Who's going to break the cycle? It's just a continuing cycle, nothing new under the sun. You should have de-escalated it. You should have had a clear head. You should have put wisdom into practice. There was no reason for it to get to the point that it did. You chose words that add fuel to the fire. You're the one that got out of your car. You could have just driven away. You could have told him, you know what? I'm sorry if I make you feel this way. I'm sorry if that's what you think of Muslims. I'm sorry that you have this view toward Muslims. What can I do to change that view? We walk the straight path. We are good ground. I'm not going to continue with that. I've said enough. I think everyone who hears this knows what I'm trying to say. And I hope that everyone who hears this, whether they are a person of faith, no matter what faith they are in, what faith they follow, what they believe, or anyone else who is not a believer, there is never a time for violence. Never a time to lay hands on anyone. Never a time to attack anyone with any type of an object. It should not be tolerated. It should be condemned by everyone of any faith. This is not just about faith. It is, but it's also about humanity. Why are we hurting each other? Why are we fighting with each other? We all want peace, but no one practices peace. As a brother in humanity, let's break this cycle of violence and hate. I plead with you. Now I'm going to read some scriptures. I hope no one just turns this off now. I hope it's not long, and I hope let's see what wisdom is. We need to practice wisdom, especially in situations that are hot like this. And how can we do that? How can we be better? How can we lead by example with wisdom and love? I'm in Proverbs 4. Hear, my children, the instruction of a father, and give attention to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Do not forsake my law. When I was my father's son, tender and the only one in the sight of my mother, he also taught me and said to me, let your heart retain my words. Keep my commands and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And in all you're getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring you honor when you embrace her. She will place on your head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory she will deliver you. Hear, my son, and receive my sayings. And the years of your life will be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in right paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hindered. And when you run, you will not stumble. Take firm hold of instruction. Do not let go. Keep her, for she is your life. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of evil. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn away from it and pass on. For they do not sleep unless they have done evil, and their sleep is taken away unless they make someone fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is like the shining sun that shines ever brighter unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. My son, give attention to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Do not let them depart from your eyes. Keep them in the midst of your heart. For they are life to those who find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. Put away from you a deceitful mouth, and put perverse lips far from you. Let your eyes look straight ahead, and your eyelids look right before you. Ponder the path of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Do not turn to the right or the left. Remove your foot from evil. Matthew 15, verse 16. So Jesus said, Are you also still without understanding? Do you not yet understand that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and is eliminated? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile a man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murderers, adulteries, fornications, thefts, thieves, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands does not defile a man. Mark 7. So he said, verse 18, so he said to them, Are you thus without understanding also? Do you not perceive that whatever enters a man from outside cannot defile him, because it does not enter his heart, but his stomach, and is eliminated? Thus purifying all foods. He said, what comes out of a man, that defiles a man. For from within, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murderers, thieves, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lewdness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile a man. Luke 6, verse 43. For a good tree does not bear bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. For every tree is known by its own fruit. For men do not gather figs from thorns, nor do they gather grapes from a bramble bush. A good man out of the good treasures of his heart brings forth good. An evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth evil. For out of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaks. Proverbs 15, verse 1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours forth foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he who receives correction is prudent. In the house of the righteous there is much treasure, but in the revenue of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the fool does not do so. Proverbs 21, verse 23. Whoever guards his mouth and tongue keeps his soul from troubles. A proud and haughty man, scoffer, is his name. He acts with a arrogant pride. Seek wisdom, my brother, in humanity. Let us break the cycle of hate and murder. Let us be wise examples. Torah is wise. The wise follow Torah.